All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. So I wanted to talk about a little bit of a feel-good story today. So Ronnie Coleman, 8-time Mr. Olympia, posted a video on his Instagram last night actually, of him back in the gym, leg pressing. And to a lot of people, there were a couple things that stood out about this video. Number one, the fact that Ronnie Coleman looked like he had put some muscle back on. He had put some size back on. And he was kind of getting back to looking like how he looked prior to the bulk of his surgeries. Now, recently, Ronnie Coleman has had several major invasive back surgeries on his spine. I think all total, he's had 12 total spinal surgeries. And the discussion about Ronnie earlier this year and really late 2018 was actually whether or not Ronnie Coleman would ever be able to walk again. So it's actually kind of encouraging to see him back in the gym, looking to have put some size back on, and also leg pressing. Probably an encouraging sign that he might, in fact, be able to walk again. Now, the one thing that a lot of people were sending this video to me and saying was, well, here he goes again, because a lot of people said the last time that he had surgery, a major reason for that was the fact that he was in the gym, despite doctors telling him not to be, and, against doctors' better judgment, still training. So a lot of people that were sending this to me, and a lot of the comments that I saw were people saying, oh, here he goes again, training heavy, training stupid, he's going to hurt himself again. Now, I don't actually think that's the case, because in this video, you do see his training partner, Big J, from Big J's Extreme Fitness, leg pressing a pretty significant amount of weight. But if you notice, when they cut to Ronnie Coleman actually leg pressing, they don't show the weight that he's leg pressing. So I'm going to go off the assumption that Ronnie Coleman is not leg pressing a whole shitload of weight. He's probably leg pressing a pretty reasonable amount of weight with a pretty reasonable, good form. And Ronnie did also say in the caption of this photo that once a champion, always a champion. It's all about the mindset. And then he goes on to say, my record and my stats alone are enough for me to throw in the towel. But stats has nothing to do with wanting to be in shape, wanting to look good, and wanting to look like he still competes, which I think is not a bad thing at all. I think when the whole thing came up of whether or not Ronnie Coleman was going to be able to walk again, he did receive a lot of criticism for the fact that it seemed that him going to the gym against doctor's orders was the reason for that re-injury and the reason for that most recent surgery. But I think it's totally reasonable for a guy. I mean, this is Ronnie Coleman, 8-time Mr. Olympia, arguably one of the best bodybuilders in the history of bodybuilding. For a guy to have sustained these major injuries and for his physique to have regressed the way that it had, it's only natural for a guy like this to want to maintain some semblance of a bodybuilding physique when he was formerly the greatest bodybuilder of all time. So it's not like, I think people should be more understanding of the fact that, this is Ronnie Coleman. Of course he's going to want to look like he works out. Of course he's going to want to work out. Of course he's going to want to maintain some kind of physique. Of course he's not going to be, 300-pound shredded Ronnie Coleman like he was in the late 90s, early 2000s. But of course, Ronnie Coleman is going to want to do what Ronnie Coleman does. Now, again, I don't really think he was being irresponsible here. I don't think he was leg pressing a stupid amount of weight or using bad form or doing something that would likely re-injure himself. I think he's just showing that he's back in the gym and training and trying to motivate people. The fact that he had 12 spinal surgeries and he's still hitting the gym. And the fact that he might not be able to walk again, or there was speculation that he might not walk again, but here he is leg pressing. I do think it's encouraging, and I do think it's motivational. And I do hope that he is able to walk again. I do hope he's able to train somewhat like he used to. Obviously, he doesn't need to train like he did in the 90s, but I do wish the best for Ronnie Coleman, and I really wish that he's going to be able to make a full recovery from all these surgeries, and he's going to be back to walking without a walker or a cane or wheelchair, and we just see a fit, healthy Ronnie Coleman walking around. So that wraps it up for this video today, guys. Keep in mind the British Grand Prix is tonight, so I will be covering that show as well. If you guys want to see the results, see how Nathan Diasha did, see how Zach Kahn did, make sure you subscribe to this channel and stay tuned for the results and coverage of the British Grand Prix. As always, thank you guys for watching, and please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.